Welcome to the village of Kwame, once a place blessed by abundance, but now a land punished by silence. For 3 long seasons, the sun had been a hammer, beating down upon the earth, turning the rich, dark soil into a pale, lifeless powder. The heart of Kwame, its source of life and joy, the great river Mvubu, was nothing but a winding trench. Its banks, where children once played and women gathered, were now deep, cracked scars running through the landscape. The people of Kwame had tried everything. The elders had prayed, the warriors had offered sacrifices of grain and song. They called out to the river spirit, pleading, bargaining, even threatening, but the spirit remained silent, deafened by the desperation, and perhaps by the years of forgotten respect. Among the desperate villagers was a young girl named Nomusa. She was small for her age and quiet, but possessed a heart that saw the world differently. While others saw the dry riverbed as a cruel weapon of nature, Nomusa saw it as a deeply wounded place. She saw the silence not as refusal, but as profound sadness. One morning, before the cruel sun rose too high, Nomusa decided to make a journey that no one else dared to complete. She slipped away from the quiet village. She carried no offerings, no grain, no oil, no silver charm. She carried only her memory and her simple, unwavering voice. She walked until she reached the deepest bend of the riverbed, the place the ancestors whispered was the true dwelling of the river spirit. The air here was heavy, thick with the silence of profound loss. It was oppressively hot, and the space felt vast and empty. Nomusa knelt on the cracked clay. She knew demanding water was foolish, it had been tried. Bargaining was insulting, the spirit was older than the village itself. Instead, Nomusa did something radical. She bowed her head, closed her eyes, and spoke to the empty ground as if speaking to a beloved, sleeping friend. Great Spirit of Mvubu, I am sorry for your emptiness. I remember your coolness on the hottest days. I remember the sound of your living waters, the sound of the birds that nested in your tall reeds. I remember the fish that flashed like silver in your depths. I remember the joy you gave. I have come only to thank you for the life we once shared. I ask for nothing, Spirit. I only want you to know that someone remembers how beautiful you are. A low, resonant sound, a deep, weary sigh vibrated in the air. The sound did not come from the ground or the wind, but from the silence itself. It was the voice of the river spirit. You are different, small child. The others have cried out for their fields, their cattle, and their thirst. They demanded I serve them. Why do you mourn for me? Because, Great Spirit, when you are gone, everything is gone. The people forgot to thank you when you were plentiful. They polluted your banks and chased away your creatures. They only saw you as a supply, not as a life. They hate you. And now we are all suffering together. The immense, invisible spirit was silenced. It had endured centuries of peace, but never once had it heard a voice of pure, selfless empathy. Nomusa's simple gratitude was a balm to its weary soul. I shall return, child of Kwame. Not because of their offerings, and not because of their fear. I will return because you have reminded me that the life I give is cherished by a pure heart. Tell your people to prepare. Tell them they must welcome the water, not with greed, but with the promise of respect. Nomusa returned, bathed in the twilight, and simply stated to the doubting elders, the river remembers us. We must prepare our vessels and purify our hearts. The people were skeptical, but the desperation was so great that they obeyed. They cleaned the dust from their calabashes and prepared their clay pots. They stood in the heavy, silent air, watching the night sky with a mixture of doubt and fragile hope.
Then, they heard it, a sound they had not known for 3 devastating seasons. It began as a faint whisper carried on the wind, a gentle rushing, growing louder and deeper. High above, Dark clouds were gathering, not the angry black storm clouds of violence, but soft, profound banks of moisture. A single, cool drop of water hit the forehead of the eldest man. Then another. And then, the heavens opened. The rain was soft, steady, and life-giving. It did not flood, it nourished. It fell through the night, washing the dust from the world, and by the dawn, the great river Mvubu was flowing again, fresh and clean, singing a melodic tune. The drought had ended, but the lesson remained. The village of Kwame never forgot the gift, or the sacrifice of the spirit's silence. They understood now that the river was not a possession, but a powerful entity that deserved gratitude every day, not just when they were desperate. They cherished the water and kept the banks clean, fulfilling the promise Nomusa had made in the silence. And Nomusa. She often walked down to the river, not to ask for anything, but just to listen to the water sing, knowing that she had found the most profound truth. The story of Nomusa teaches us that the greatest power in the universe, whether it is nature, a gift, or a relationship, does not respond to demands or bargains. It responds to pure, heartfelt respect. If you cherish the gifts you are given, they will never cease to bless you.